The Yoruba kingdom thrived in splendor and mystery, its land stretching across verdant plains and dense forests. At its heart lay Ile-Ife, the cradle of its civilization, where kings ruled under the divine guidance of the Orisha. The kingdom's people were deeply rooted in their traditions, celebrating their gods and ancestors through festivals that filled the air with the rhythmic beats of drums and the vibrant colors of ceremonial attire. Yet beneath its bustling markets and palatial courtyards lay ancient secrets buried in the sands of time, secrets that whispered of power, betrayal, and curses. Tales of the past lingered in hushed tones, passed down by the griots, warning of forbidden forces that even the gods themselves once feared. Prince Afolabi was the pride of Ile-Ife, beloved by the people for his wisdom and courage. He walked among them not as a distant royal, but as a leader who listened and cared. Prince Afolabi, driven by an insatiable curiosity and an ambition to leave his mark on the kingdom, ventured into the dense forest that encircled Ile-Ife. There, amidst the ruin of an abandoned shrine, his eyes fell upon an artifact. Gold and obsidian shimmered beneath layers of dust, its intricate carving. He reached for it, his fingers trembling as they brushed its surface. He carried it back to the palace, unaware of the ancient force he had awakened. That night, the kingdom changed. Howling winds battered the walls of the palace, and the once thriving land began to wither. Crops failed, livestock weakened, and an eerie sense of dread settled over Ile-Ife. The people whispered of a curse, and their fears reached the king's ears. Akara, the priestess of the Orisha, was the first to understand the magnitude of the disaster. Draped in her ceremonial robes, she appeared before the king, her voice steady despite the storm raging outside.
My king, a great curse has been unleashed. The artifact your son has unearthed was never meant to leave its resting place.
What have you done, my son? I sought only to honor our ancestors by uncovering the secret. I did not know this would happen.
The artifact must be returned to the shrine where it was forged. Only then can the curse be lifted, but the journey will demand great sacrifice.
With resolve hardening in his chest, Afolabi vowed to undo the wrong. I will set this right, he declared. He could not do it alone. By his side stood Kehinde, his closest friend. Akara led the way, her staff tapping against the ground as they ventured into the unknown. The forest, dense and shadowed, seemed alive with unseen eyes watching their every move. Spirits emerged from the trees. One night, as the group rested, a spirit appeared before their fire, its form shifting and translucent. "Why do you tread this path?" it asked, its voice like wind through leaves. Afolabi stepped forward and says, "We seek to undo the curse that plagues our land. Will you aid us?" The spirit's eyes glowed faintly. "Beware, young prince, the past does not let go so easily." "You cannot undo what has been done," it roared. "We will try," Afolabi shouted. The spirit disappeared and they continued the journey. But the trials were not only physical. Afolabi was haunted by visions of his deepest fears, his father's disappointment, his people's suffering, and his own inadequacy. Akara's voice was their anchor, keeping them going.
Do not let the curse break your spirit. Trust in each other and in the ancestors who guide us.
At last, they reached the shrine where the artifact belonged. The air was thick with darkness, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. Akara began the ritual, her voice rising in a song of supplication to the Orisha. The artifact resisted, glowing with a blinding light. Shadows coalesced into a towering figure. "You dare defy me?" it bellowed. With Akara's chants binding its power, Afolabi placed the artifact on the altar. A surge of energy erupted, and the spirit let out a final deafening cry before vanishing. The skies cleared, and the land began to heal. Flowers bloomed where there had been desolation, and the air was filled with the songs of birds. The kingdom of Ile-Ife thrived once more, its people united by the trials they had overcome. The tale of the curse and its lifting became a cautionary legend, a reminder of the balance between power and responsibility. As for Afolabi, he continued to study the kingdom's history, guided by the wisdom of Akara and the steadfast support of Kehinde. Together, they ensured that the mistakes of the past would never be repeated, and that the future of the Yoruba kingdom would shine as brightly as its storied past.